Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Productivity Lovers podcast. I'm Cris and Deb.
And I'm Deb Lee. I'm looking at you and laughing.
I feel like I say this at every episode. If you don't have a clapper, you should get one.
Indeed. And they make little tiny ones too. So you can get whatever size you like.
Or put it in a keychain. You can just go clapping around and be like, you're out, you cut.
Yes.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Productivity Lovers podcast, the podcast about how to become more productive in your work and home environment. The Productivity Lovers podcast is brought to you by Cris Scrott, a certified professional organizer, and Deb Lee, a digital productivity coach. Buckle up and enjoy the show.
Yes.
How's it going, Deb?
It's going good. Today's a good day. The sun is shining. I'm always happy about that. So
Sun is shining.
I'm good. We did have a few days of rain, which is meh. But I'm good. How about yourself?
I am like a plant. When the sun is shining, I am leaning towards the window.
I love it.
So when I moved to Rob's house, he has amazing windows. I used to have a 3-level townhouse, so there were only windows in the back and windows in the front. And because of the trees in the front, it was kind of dark. So the only place I really had light was in the back. We have a house that has a lot of windows. So I made one of the rooms that gets beautiful light in the morning and in the afternoon, the plant room.
Oh, I like that. Like a sunroom.
It is it's not quite a sunroom, but it's definitely got a lot of light in there.
Okay.
And so that's where I housed all of the plants. And sometimes when I work with clients and they're moving, I am like the plant rescuer. Funny enough, like not that long ago, I found homes for some of my clients' plants with one of my girlfriends. And so I have this plant room and the plants are just thriving in there.
Nice.
Like you walk in and there's like this like greenhouse feel to it.
Nice.
Currently, none of the orchids are blooming, but at one point, not that long ago, all of the orchids were blooming.
That's nice. I love orchids. I've got about 3 of them right now. I have a similar space that has pretty open windows and the sun is awesome. So I love going there they give me a little joy.
But I do find that sometimes I see the plants leaning.
Oh, even
Like
your orchids, they're all leaning in a certain.
Literally leaning towards the window and the sun. And I rotate them around and then they go back and lean the other way. I'm just like, yeah, if there is any doubt that there is something to that saying that plants do lean towards the sun.
They do.
It's true.
They do.
So that's my plant story, and that's what I'm sticking to.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
This is a re-record because we had such an awesome conversation and I forgot to press the record button, people.
It happens. So in our defense, it's only happened what? Twice, maybe?
Twice, yeah.
Twice. And we've been doing this. So I just discovered that we've been doing this for 2 whole years.
So celebration.
Woo-hoo! But
Yes.
yeah. So only twice it's happened. And so we now have a little handy dandy checklist and we will never let that happen again.
I don't know.
Because we have some amazing conversations.
I think you can try to use your checklist and I'm still going to forget to hit the recording button.
Well, there were some extenuating circumstances in this last go around because we were recording and then we paused and then we just forgot to start.
Yeah. I had to get my mic, and in the process of getting the mic, I forgot to press the button. I guess I remembered one thing.
The mic.
Okay?
The mic.
But anyway, the conversation we were having, you were telling me that if you lived in the perfect world, that you would add some really some interesting help to your life. And so then I started thinking about it, and then I thought this would be a great podcast. So the question here is, if you did live in the perfect world, you could win the lottery.
Money's no object.
billion dollars, let's just
Yes.
say, which was the number not that long ago.
Right, it was.
Yeah. So tell me about what kind of help you would add to your life.
Okay, so first of all, this is my wish list. I do not believe that any of these things will happen, although
Not that they are not a possibility, right? Because all of those things are kind of like available out in the world.
I guess they are. I mean, honestly, I have not searched up these people, but if
We're Celebrity Deb. Celebrity
I
Deb.
mean, I know, I think we all need people in our life that's going to help our lives run smoother and be better in some way. And that's why people hire us too, right? Because we help someone else in their life run smoother and be better in some way. And I think that if I had a bucket of money and it was not an object and I could really sort of justify this person in my life, the first person I would choose is, I feel so silly saying this, I don't know why, I would choose a lady's maid.
No judgment here. That was just for fun.
No, it is sort of for fun, but really, if I could find a lady's maid, I would be all about it. I would love it.
I mean, people through centuries in royalty had them.
They did. And
why wouldn't you want one?
I mean, oh my gosh, I probably read too many of these, old novels, romance novels where, that some woman has some laced up corset and some other woman who is her lady's maid comes and unlaces her, because who can reach back there to unhook all of that stuff, right? And helps her to get out of her undergarments and gets her into the proper garments for bed. It's called a night rail, I've discovered.
Nice.
I know it doesn't sound very fun, but hey. So I would love someone like that. I would have to get used to them seeing me and they all together, but I would love someone like that, because I have discovered that as the evening rolls into the day, or away from the day, I guess, I get tired and I don't want to brush my teeth or wash my face or derobe or any of those things. And I find myself saying all the time, I wish I had a lady's maid. Because I just don't have another, like, I didn't have the energy the other night. And I think I texted you and I said, ladies maid.
You did, yes.
I did. Exclamation mark.
You did text
because,
and since this is how we record, I already knew the joke.
Ladies maid. I mean, hey, I guess I don't even know if they would call them that, because that's what they were called in the past. Maybe that person is I don't know. What would you call that person?
I have no idea. Maybe people out there have an idea of what they would call this very intimate person that helps you at the end of the day.
Yeah, take off the makeup would be one, especially because, and I don't wear a lot of makeup all the time, but on the times that I do, I'm usually not really feeling like taking it off. I do, but I'm like, ladies maid. I would just say, hey, maybe her name would be, I don't know what her name would be, but, or maybe it'd ring a bell. I don't know, or I'd just call her on her phone and be like, hey, can you come up now?
Yeah, this is like 2022. You would probably,
2023,
you would probably just text and be like, hey, I'm ready for my makeup to be taken off.
I know it sounds really awful. However, I have to say, anything that will help make the day kind of wind down calmly and help me prepare for the next day, I would accept. So ladies maid would be high on my list.
Yeah. And I think you mentioned like drawing a bath and like brushing your hair and like maybe picking up your outfit for the next day.
That would be so nice, because then I don't have to think about all of those things. And there's a little pampering in there, because what do we do when it's time to pamper ourselves? And then client calls and says, hey, I want to see you at the same time that you have your massage or your hair appointment. And you're like, okay, I guess not getting my hair done today. And you go off and you see that client.
Not me,
not you.
No, I learned hard boundaries around that. Your emergency is not my emergency.
But it is difficult to say no to a client who has their own emergency, and you can feel the emotion through the phone or the text message.
I did get a call. It's funny enough. I did get a call last night at 9:45 p.m. from a client. Let's call him Tom.
Okay.
And Tom was like, I don't know what you're doing tomorrow. Maybe you're free. Maybe you can come over. And he says, I'm wondering if you'd just come and sit on the couch and like, so I can be with someone while I organized. And I was like,
You mean like then? Like right then?
no, like this morning. He was like, can you
Oh, I
come
see. Okay,
tomorrow
gotcha.
morning? And like, I don't know what you're doing tomorrow, but can you come and like
Oh, right.
help me?
Okay. Okay.
And then I was like, first of all, sorry, Tom, I didn't get your call until like 10 o'clock this morning. Because
Sorry.
I don't listen to voicemails until I'm actually awake. Who
I like
leaves
that.
voicemails anymore?
You know, people still do that. I prefer a text message. But yeah, maybe the lady's maid would check my voicemail.
The voicemail for sure.
There you
She
go.
would have called Tom back and said, so
See?
sorry.
Chris can't right now. Yeah.
Cris is like in the middle of her bath and she's not available to hang out with you tomorrow because she's gonna sleep until 9.
Okay. I love it.
So sorry.
Yes.
Maybe you'll have to wait a couple of weeks for that. However, so Tom didn't get an appointment,
Sorry, Tom.
even though I probably could have given him an appointment if I checked his text message or voicemail last night.
Well, I mean, 9:45 is kind of on the late side.
It is, yeah.
So I would imagine he would have had the expectation that you would not have seen that until much later.
I
But he
have
took a
no-
chance.
I
He
have
took a
no
chance.
idea. He did say I'm taking a chance.
That's
So
right. Just take a chance.
ask, can you show receive? Sometimes you postpone your hair appointment. Your lady's
Well-
maid would have prevented that from happening.
Yes, she would have been. I'd say more often than not, I've gotten more adept at taking care of my own hair. Plus now I have a built-in hairstyle.
Yeah, your hairstylist live in the house.
Yes, she lives in the house with me. I know you all are jealous.
I have to say I'm jealous all the time.
Oh,
that
yeah,
the
it is
hairstylist,
amazing. It is amazing.
Just have hair.
Oh yeah, whenever
Hair on demand is like
it is on demand and I'm
Awesome.
just loving it. Love. And it helps that she doubles as a pretty darn good chef too.
well, you know what? I was gonna ask. So is a hairstylist and a chef on your list of people that you would like to have?
No, because I have them.
Okay.
I have them. And just so everybody else out there knows, I have those two people rolled into one person who happens to be my mother.
Yes.
So, and she's very willing to try things on my hair and to try different kinds of food and cooking. And I am all about it. I am here for all of that. So I wouldn't have those two people, but if she were not here,
Yeah.
yes to all of those. I guess my list would grow because I was only thinking my top 3.
All right.
I would have 5.
Well, let's just be grateful that your mom lives with you and
Yes.
that it's such a great gift that she is an amazing cook and that you
Yes.
get your hair done on demand. I mean, like
Yes.
seriously, those are like
Amazing.
beautiful things. But like, so all right, the
So
handmade one,
ladies maid or handmaid and ladies maid.
I don't know the
A
difference.
butler.
A butler.
A
Yes.
butler.
What would
Yes.
the butler do for you?
Well, I was thinking, so ladies maid would be so like personal to me, and my physical being, and butler would be also personal to me, but admin-y type. The errands of the home, and the person who would, kind of line up the bottles the way that I want. And if you watch the last episode or so, put the pasta sauce with the pasta, making sure all those little Deb things that I like happen. That'd be good. Maybe coordinating with the chef on the menu and gathering all those items so that she doesn't have to do that on her own. I don't know. Is that what butlers do? I don't know.
I have no idea. I always wonder what the exact function of a butler was. To me, it feels from the outside more like a house manager.
Yes, house manager. Okay, I changed my name from butler to house manager. There you go.
It's the 2022 version
Yes,
of
yes,
a butler.
yes, very much so. So the person who keeps it all together and who is so in tune with my type A-ness that he or she understand. What do you call a female butler?
I guess it's
House
it's
house manager.
I think that in the past only males
Men
were
could be
allowed to
males.
be butler.
Butlers. You're right about that.
I don't think I've ever seen a female butler before.
I think you're right. I think you're right, but I digress.
But a
So
house manager can be either one.
could be anybody, and I'm open to all of that. So ladies maid and house manager are on my list.
Yeah, it would be nice to have a house manager, somebody that, pick up the dry cleaning, that
And does some house things too, like
house things. Yes.
like they know that there's a thing that needs fixing and they just take care of it.
They do grocery shopping.
Yep, love it.
Pay your bills.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that at all. That would be nice, although everything is online, so they probably wouldn't need to do that. But just sort of managing, oh, this thing needs to be repaired, or it's time to inspect that thing, or carpets need to get cleaned, or
wrap your gifts.
Okay, I'll take it. Yeah. Although I let Amazon do that for me, but sure.
I don't know that it would count Amazon as like a gift wrapper. They put it in a bag and
it's a pretty bag.
No.
Okay, it's an okay, but well, yeah, okay. I get you.
I'm sorry. I don't count that as gift wrapping.
When you are pressed for time,
you should have saved the $6. That's what I think when I get a gift and wrapped in that bag. I'm like, the box was just fine. Like, why did you need a bag inside of a box that has another box in it?
Because we're trying.
That is very true. However, if you had a house manager, there would be there would be a lot of environmental waste and making
that is true.
That is true.
That is true. So the house manager would take care of all of those things and help with party planning and
party planning. Yeah.
Yes, party planning things and all of those things. Yes.
Or maybe just like regular dinner parties. Doesn't even have to be fancy,
No, not fancy, but there is a kiddo in my home and sometimes there are parties associated with that kiddo. So the party isn't usually for me. So yeah, I'd say party planning on that level. Nothing fancy.
So, all right.
So my next person would be a chauffeur.
Yes.
So I still like to drive. I like to drive. I don't mind driving at all, but there are times when I don't want to.
Yeah.
And I feel like I am the chauffeur because I'm not carting. I should say this quite nicely. I am ushering my people around the DC metro area. And I would appreciate some assistance with that at times.
But sometimes it would be fun to just be not engaged in traffic so you can be engaged in the conversation happening in the back seat, right?
So. Yes, because I would still be in the car. So that's the thing.
Yes, of course.
I'd still be in the car for a lot of the stuff that the kiddo needs to go, places she needs to go and all of that, I would want to make sure that I'm present for that.
I still be in the car, but I just be like talking to the people in the back and actually having a good time and maybe taking pictures, maybe taking selfies, maybe like, engaging in some way that didn't include paying attention.
Yeah, because that was a nice part about taking the metro or a metro or subway, whatever people call it, is that you don't have to watch out for other things. You could actually read a book or listen to some music, or if you're with someone, talk to that person. So I would appreciate having a chauffeur for those reasons. So
yeah, I was never a fan of the metro. I commuted when I moved to Virginia. I lived in Manassas and I commuted on the VRE going downtown.
Okay.
It was a nice ride because that's a train. It's like the Amtrak train, short trip. So I love that. And I also lived outside of Seattle and commuted on the ferry because I worked down.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That was a nice ride because it's really
like that. Okay.
Calm and on the water and it's like pretty views. And I read a lot of books when I did that commute.
I love that.
However, I spent a lot of time on the ferry. That part was not so great. So I can see how having a driver would just be magical.
It would be awesome if I had those three plus my hairstylist and my chef.
That's 5 people.
5 people. I think everybody needs 5 people like that in their life, or at least 3.
Yeah.
Or 1.
I wonder if you like listening have 3 favorite people that you would add to your life if you had like unlimited resources.
Yes. So money's no object. And at the snap of your fingertips, you could have these 3 people ready to assist you, not serve you. I'm not talking about servitude. All right. I'm talking about helping you get through the business of life.
Yeah.
To make your life calmer, smoother. Don't we always tell our clients that they should delegate, right? We tell them that they shouldn't do it all because they'll burn out or, get too stressed and overwhelmed. So this is sort of a self-care delegation of sorts.
Yeah, this would
Just
be a
really important, right?
well-paid, amazing, supportive team that just freed up your time so you can enjoy other things, mostly your kid, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It would be worth it to me because I think as I think back about this kid in my life and how much growth has happened and time just seems to be speeding up, and it's just like, wow, weren't you just a baby? And I want to recapture some of that time.
Yeah.
Certainly, could I use my time differently to make that happen? Yes. And have I done that? Oh yeah, I have. Could I do more? Probably.
Yeah.
But if I had that extra support, and I do think that all of us, whether you have a child or not, need some support in some way. Nobody has it together all the time, every day, all day. So being able to see yourself as important enough to have the support that you need. Does it have to be a lady's maid? No, but think about who those people might be for you. And a lot of times we are those people for others. Right?
We are. Yeah. We're everybody's lady's maid.
And how do we sort of turn the tables a little bit so that we get a little bit of that care, and we have to make ourselves a priority to do that, I think. So
yeah, no, I agree with that. And that conversation made me think about, like, who would I add to my life?
That was my next question.
I think the driver would definitely be a must. That is like on the top of the list, just because I do spend a lot of time driving around, even like just to drive me to go see clients.
Yeah, you drive pretty far to do that, don't you?
Yeah, I do drive quite a bit. I mean, but I also live in the country. So somebody just recently said, it's like, you're 45 minutes away. And I said, LOL, everything is 45 minutes away.
Yeah.
When you live in the country, that's just what you get. So I like my cow pastures. So definitely a driver, because honestly, I like to drive, but it would be so much nicer if I didn't have to.
Not all the time. I think if it were just a choice, today I'm going to drive, but not tomorrow.
Not tomorrow. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't know. I think if I had a driver, I would choose to never drive.
Never. Even if you got like a fancy car? Would you get a fancy car if you had a driver?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Again, money's no object. Just saying. Just a thought.
If I drove an Audi, would I still drive it on the weekends?
Would you?
I don't know. Thinking about that one. A tough one. That's a tough question. Driver, Audi.
Why not both?
Why not both? I think my second person that I would pick would just probably be like, and I'm assuming we're talking personal help, not business help.
I was thinking more personal help, because I do think we put ourselves at the bottom of the list. Often. So personal help. Yeah.
I think the second person I would pick is like a trainer.
Oh, personal trainer, like a workout. I like that.
I probably would be much more likely to work out if somebody was like, yo.
I know. And if we lived closer, I would probably be knocking on your door like, come on, let's go.
You would, yeah. Because you walk quite a bit.
I do. Yeah. So personal trainer,
because I'm not very good at working out. I'm not like for a long time.
And you want to?
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
I procrastinate and get lazy.
Okay. Well,
left to my own device, I would rather not, like, I'm not one of those people that are like, I can't wait to work out. Like, it's like, no. There are people like that.
I like walking. Because it makes my brain happy. So I look forward to that. I can't say that I look forward to lifting weights and all of those things, but walking, I do.
Walking.
Yeah.
So working out would be one of those people I would hire.
Okay.
And then I think a third person would probably be my hairstylist.
Mm,
Mhm.
I know somebody.
Yeah. My sister, Vanessa,
Yeah.
is my hairstylist, but she lives kind of far away. So
You got to get her to move closer.
I would have to get my driver to drive me there.
drive- See how this works?
Really? See?
Yeah, this works. I
5
love it.
hours, 5
Yeah.
hours to get to her. Then I would just get my hair done and then I drive back and take a nap on the way and not even know that I was
Oh,
gone.
I
for,
love
like,
that. I would go with you. Totally. Fun.
Yeah. So, and I mean, like, the other thing I was thinking is like, what do you do with all the time that you gain from hiring these people, right? I think like that is one question, but I think like one thing that I notice about, so do you have, I'm trying to frame this question in a way that makes sense outside of my brain.
Okay.
You know, sometimes it's like a crazy lady up there. So I always wonder, you know, like, is there a service that we feel like a lot of our clients really need in the perfect world, right? Once again, is there a service that our clients really need? And I think two services that I feel like are essential for people that may be messy or disorganized
Mhm.
is like somebody to help with cleaning.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
I feel like that helps them have accountability around, you know, sometimes they have to tidy up before that person shows up a little bit and like
Yes.
organizing becomes
Yeah.
like dependent on the cleaning. And the other thing is a laundry service.
I was going to say that.
Mhm.
Absolutely 100% laundry service. Pick it up, bring it back to you.
I don't know why laundry is such a big deal for all of us, but laundry is a big deal. And like it
Too many
is,
steps. Too many
is
steps.
that what it is?
Yes, you have to sort. So you get, oh, even if you have one of those bins that's already sorted, right? The 3-bin compartment or something like that. So you sort and then you throw them in and then you have to pour in all of this stuff or put
Mhm.
stuff in to wash. So then it washes, then you wait and then it goes in the dryer. Then you must take them out at a certain point or else they get wrinkled, right? So
Mhm.
there's some timing involved here. Then you
Mhm.
take them out, you must either fold and or hang them up and put them away.
Yes.
Too many steps.
Yeah.
We
I think
need
in addition to the too many steps, there's the time delay from like
and the time delay.
like
Yes.
it's the waiting around for the thing to get accomplished. It just seems to trip me up. You know,
Yeah.
I literally, so my go-to way of doing laundry is like I put the washer in and then I put a timer for an hour and a half.
Okay.
And then in an hour and a half, I come back and I put it in the dryer and then I put the timer in for another hour and a half.
And what are you doing in those?
I just go about my day, you know?
Okay. So you're not
I feel
waiting
like
for
an hour
it.
and a half is long enough for it to like do whatever it needs to do. And like
Okay.
for me to have like, oh, I'm doing laundry feeling. And
I
then,
don't want to have to come back to it. I want it to be done.
yeah. No, if you lived in the perfect world, yes. And
I
they do
just
now
want it
make
to be done.
machines that you can wash and dry in the same one.
I want that.
I'm
I
not sure
saw-
how I trust that, but they do make them.
Well, I mean, goodness, they make all kinds of things. They put things into space. Why can't they make a machine that washes and dries? I'm sure there is one out there somewhere. We just need one that washes, dries, folds, and then a little robot just puts it away.
Yeah. Gee,
That's
help us out here.
Some
Should we
AI.
be appealing to GE or we should be appealing to like Thermador and Wolf?
I think we should be appealing to probably all three. And maybe there is some AI out there that can do that
Yeah.
stuff. No idea.
We need
Like,
the next Steve Jobs of washing machines.
I love it. I love it. So I totally I'm on board with the laundry one. Definitely.
Yeah. So those were the two services I was thinking a lot of
Yeah.
my clients need. Do you have some two services that you feel like most business technology people would need to be more productive?
Well, I
know this is a curveball question for you.
a little bit, but I almost feel like I am one of those people
Mhm.
because what trips up the people that I like working with is the researching of the apps and which one is the best one. And they all do a little bit of the same thing, but which one is it or which two should I choose? And that trips them up big time. And it is time consuming. And as someone who likes apps, hello, I do.
Yeah, you do.
I probably have used it or heard about it, or my research is probably a little different than maybe someone else's. I'm not necessarily going down a rabbit hole. I would want to know, what do you need it for? What are you trying to do? Let's talk about the workflow. And then I'm like, oh, you can use Evernote or Basecamp or Todoist or this thing. So I think someone who can help you get through the weeds of the technology, right?
Like a tech tool consultant.
Like a tech tool consultant.
That's I don't know if that's your official title, but that would be a
digital productivity consultant is what I have said in the past, but I'll take tech tool consultant as well. That works.
It's less wordy for me.
A little bit. And then someone who can also sort of help with the space, the real estate around work. So whether that's a desk that you're sitting in front of, or one that you're standing in front of, or if some of those who combine work and exercise, a treadmill desk, sort of outfitting your space. So you have all these amazing systems, you have a process to do this, that, and the other thing, and you have the right tech tools. And now you're in the space, and how do we make it hum and work? And what do we put in front of you to keep the motivation and the productivity flowing? So I kind of feel like those two things together.
It's like a space planner, ergonomically correct office person.
Yes. So part of me wants to talk to people about the desk in particular, because that's where they're spending a lot of their time. But oftentimes it's not just the desk, it's what's directly in front of them, right? Is it a certain painting on the wall, or maybe it's a diploma or something that brings them a certain type of energy, or they need to see a certain color in their space. And so I remember doing a little bit of space planning via Zoom back when COVID was at its height. I had a client who was redoing his garage and turning it into an office. And he had this painting of a chimpanzee that he loved. And I said, why don't you put it in the space that you can see it? Like, you just see it. And it's okay if your clients see it too, because it's an extension of you. It's not nothing that's going to be offensive in any way, but it brings you joy every time you see it, and it helps contribute to your productivity. So we talked about space and where we'd put things and in and out, and whether he would stand or sit. And it was so interesting to do that over Zoom, but so valuable because he took everything I said and he did it. Right. So someone who can show you the tools and then outfit the space, that workspace. I think those are two things.
Yeah. I mean, like, we're, 60% of the population is visual word processing people. So I think having somebody to talk to that can visually help you see the space, right? It's really, really helpful. So I love that. So I think my takeaway from this conversation is that maybe we are not in the pay grade of a driver yet.
Did you say maybe?
Maybe. I'm just sending good messages out into the universe.
Okay, good.
Maybe not yet. Maybe it's coming our way.
Okay, I like that you said yet, not yet. Okay, so maybe in the future I might have a ladies' maid. Okay.
But I wonder, like, what little things we might be able to do today, right? That may free up time that would let us be more productive if we were to let some help into our lives in some sort of way, some affordable way for us.
Well, maybe something like the grocery delivery. So when you don't have time to go to do groceries after working a long, hard day, so you have groceries that are scheduled. Instacart or your local grocery store usually has an app that you can go in and order whatever you need, and they give you a delivery window, and then they do a contactless delivery. So they park it right at wherever you tell them to park it, and you go get it. You don't have to exchange any monies or anything. It's all done through the app. So that could be something, along with a laundry service. I don't think a laundry service is as expensive as maybe we might think. Back when I had my first job, when I lived in Brooklyn by myself, my first apartment, first job, my first teeny tiny apartment, I had a laundry service. I didn't want to go to the laundromat. I was coming home late and I didn't want to deal with that. And it wasn't how I wished to spend my weekend. So I cut something else out so I could have laundry.
Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes it's a matter of, like, how are you going to afford that service?
Yes. No, of course, I was single, did not have children. I could. So obviously we evaluate our lives and we figure out, the best steps forward based on what's happening with us now. But I do think there probably are some small things that we could do to kick up the notch, kick up the pampering a bit for ourselves, kick it up a notch. and not leave ourselves at the bottom of the list all the time, and to take our own advice and delegate some of those personal care things in a way that works for us. Yeah.
Yeah. Love ourselves first.
Yes. I mean, I think it helps with the productivity piece, 100%. And it gives you more energy maybe to even do some of that organizing piece. I think it just all fits. It all fits well together.
Yeah, it totally does.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Can't wait to hear about what you come up with and how you dream about, ways that you might be able to squeeze some more time out of your day by hiring somebody or delegating some of your work. Maybe even
your fantasy top 3.
Maybe even to your 10-year-old.
Maybe.
So we can't wait to hear from you. And if you want to, tag us on Instagram, we are Productivity Lovers there.
I think we're a productivity love,
LUV,
LUV, because Instagram just did not give us enough letters. So we are productivity love on Instagram and on Twitter, but everywhere else we're productivity lovers.
And you can find us at productivitylovers.com.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm Cris Scrapp.
And I'm Deb Lee.
And we'll see you soon. Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Productivity Lovers podcast. We hope you enjoyed it. Please be sure to subscribe so that you get notified when we upload a new productivity podcast. For more tips and notes from the show, check us out at productivitylovers.com. Talk to you soon.